After that, I just want to quote Kendrick Lamar, something's in the water that Ntabaleng is drinking. And I think it's a drink that we could all do more of, do more with of. Okay, let's move on because we've got so many exciting things left and the time is also against us. The moment is like completely overwhelming me, especially after what you said. And every time she's come to our studio, it's been such a, when you hear her speak with that kind of clarity, you think about how possible it is to overcome some of the obstacles that we put in our way or obstacles that society and environment puts in our way. And it feels like, to me, an evangelical moment. So let me move on and introduce our second E-Founder Fellow. And I have the pleasure of welcoming Adetayo Bamiduro, the co-founder of MAX NG. It's a company that uses mobile technology to transform mobility and logistics.
Amazing. Well, this is an ambush, clearly. This is definitely not fair. Lauren, next time, make sure I get to speak first if you want me to speak, right? All right, very excited to be here. Thank you for this incredible privilege. My name is Tayo. I'm co-founder and CEO of MAX NG. Okay, when I was young, I had a passion for technology. So I started learning how to code, how to build software. Then it was on DOS, disk operating system. If you don't know what DOS is, it's okay, don't worry about it. So a few years later, I learned how to build a website. I built this amazing website that once you did run it, it would simply say, hello world. You know, that's so complex, right? A few days later, after doing that, I met a friend who had built a dynamic website. And I asked him how he did it, and he talked about something called JavaScript. Till now, I'm still trying to find out exactly what that is. But anyway, that was the beginning of my love affair with technology and the internet. So I studied computer science, and after I graduated, I was caught in between two options. You know, do I continue to use technology to change the world, or should I think about my immediate needs? So I was quite distracted. I went and worked in oil and gas because I needed to pay my bills and make some extra cash, which was fine. But a few years into working in the oil and gas sector in Nigeria, one day I got on a chopper, and we flew over one of the communities that supplied gas to the company that I worked for. And I observed something that stuck to my memory, and I've never forgotten that image. It was an image of poverty. I saw naked kids running around. I saw dilapidated buildings. I saw unpaved roads. I saw underdevelopment. And I couldn't reconcile how a community that had so much wealth in it could at the same time experience so much poverty at the same time. And at that moment as well, I remembered the power that I felt when I built my first program. So I decided that it was time to transition, to go use technology to solve important problems. So I moved on from there. A couple of years later, I left my nice job, and I went to the place where the World Wide Web was invented, which was MIT. Now, I didn't have the nerdy brilliance that you guys associate with people at MIT, but I had a story. And that is something that we all have here. You know, no one can compete with me on my own story, right? So MIT bought it and allowed me to go in there. So when I got there, I met amazing people, but also extremely humble people who were using technology to solve problems around the world. On a fateful day in class, I heard one of my professors talk about the huge problems with logistics, supply chain, and urban transportation around in the developing world. And I thought to myself, now that's a problem worth solving. So I teamed up with my friend and classmate, Chinedu. Chinedu's here. Wave. Could you wave? So we teamed up together to use the internet and use mobile technology to solve the problem of urban mobility and last mile delivery on the continent. And we got a few friends to join us. Now, fast forward a few years into building out this company, I had this amazing opportunity to hear Jack speak for the first time when I went to Rwanda for the Youth Connect Africa Summit. And there was one particular thing that he said that stuck with me. He said, when the infrastructure is built, you have no chance. And for the first time, I realized that this thing that we complain about so much on the continent, about the lack of infrastructure, which most people saw as a challenge, here was Jack challenging every young African to see it as an opportunity. So I said to myself, okay, I'll go back and try to figure out how to turn the lack of urban infrastructure and support systems for motor taxi drivers into an opportunity. A few months later, Jack delivered on one of the promises he made in Rwanda to open up the secret chambers of Alibaba to African founders. So I said, nah, that's an amazing opportunity. So I took advantage of that. One of the biggest things that I learned as an e-founder going through an amazing experience in Hangzhou was the fact that Alibaba was able to achieve so much success by putting its merchants first. And I saw the elaborate ecosystem and support system they had built around merchants. And that was the aha moment for me. Because I went back to Lagos, I actually talked about how our priority should be our drivers. So we completely transformed the business and started building a platform that focused on first empowering our drivers, because if they were empowered, then they will deliver great service to our customers. So for me, today, I still think about that experience that I had when I flew over that community that was impoverished. And I'm excited about what we've been able to do today. Even though we've gone through, of course, our own fair deal of challenges and a lot of no's from investors and people that we thought could support us, post Alibaba, we've been able to get support from folks like Shell Foundation, Techstars Ventures, and even Breakthrough Energy Ventures, a company where Jack and Mr. Patrice Motsepe are board members. We're also partnering with companies out of China to leapfrog and actually deploy electric mobility solutions in West Africa. So, in conclusion, my challenge to us today is that, yes, Africa has a lot of challenges, and it looks like the dark continent from above. But every one of us, we have a unique story, and we have the ability to leverage the internet and use technology to create opportunities for every single African. So thank you, Jack, for the amazing opportunity. Thank you, Dr. Kitui, for being the visionary behind this whole thing. Thank you, Alibaba. Thank you, amazing e-founders. I've learned so much from you guys. And thank you, everyone, as well. Hopefully, we can move forward and use this experience to build this continent and to end poverty in Africa. Thank you.
Thanks for that, Tayo.